yesterday, had to call out all the red alerts, activate the phone chain. We found armyworms. We've been lucky so far. Now they're here. Also stem maggots. Fortunately, I knew what that damage looked like. At first I thought it was armyworm damage, but the amount of damage I was finding versus the very few worms I was finding wasn't adding up. Well, I'd already started spraying Prevathon for the armyworms, 16 ounces to the acre. I sprayed that for worms and grasshoppers. And then the more I looked and sprayed and was out looking at all the fields, I was like, this is not adding up. So started looking at the grass, and where I was seeing damage, there was no worms. And you know, the grass will have that little brown dead stem on top, kind of stringy looking. And then the grass just kind of has like a frost damage type look to it. And I just checked these fields Thursday, went to work, was gone for 2 days, came back Sunday morning. It was raining, checked the fields Sunday evening. So in about 72-ish hours, I know 60, probably about 60 hours, that much damage had been done. I was blown away, sick to my stomach. So talked to a friend of mine who unfortunately has dealt with stem maggots for a couple years now, and so he got me some Baythroid, and so now this morning I've been spraying Baythroid. If you're not familiar with stem maggots, I knew a little. I know more now than I wanted to. It's just a tiny fly that lives in the grass. It'll lay its eggs in Bermuda grass and star grass, and lays its eggs. Once the larvae hatch, they bore down into the stem of the grass. It kind of clogs that whole system up, and then the top of the grass starts to die. So you end up with equal amount of damage from the stem maggots as you do from armyworms. The maggots will then fall to the ground, burrow in the ground, emerge as little flies again, ready to start this whole cycle over. So we're going to change up our practices on how we spray and what we spray. Fortunately, some of the pyrethroids are cheaper than the Prevathon because it's going to take more spraying more often in between our cuts to keep these things at bay, because once you see the damage, you're too late. You're not going to kill that little maggot that's in that grass stem. He's encapsulated and protected, and I think that when I was reading, it was like the saying was, if you see the fly, apply. So now I'm going to have to get a sweep net so I can start identifying these little flies. So just one more thing, wanting to take something from you when you start having a good season. But I think I got them sprayed now and under control. But I'm going to show you what the damage looks like. Go scout your own fields. If you find this damage, I'm sorry. Whatever damage is there is kind of there, but you can spray. Read up on it. It's really confusing, but it's manageable. And yeah, get you some Baythroid or some other pyrethroid and knock them to the dirt. Okay, so this is armyworm damage. You can see where stuff's been gnawing. The grass is really thin. You can see the ground. You see here something's been gnawing pretty good on that leaf. That is what armyworm damage looks like. It is just eat down. It could be some grasshopper damage too. More than likely armyworm, since I was finding armyworms. Now, zinger number 2. Let's see. This, see that dead piece, kind of stringy piece? So that is stem maggot damage. And this field, you can kind of look across the top and see all the little brown strings sticking up. This happened suddenly and out of nowhere and without warning. The only thing I could have done different was to be scouting for those flies with a sweep net. Never had them before, hasn't crossed my mind. I'm adding that to my new bag of tricks. I will be, instead of just scouting for worms, I'm going to be scouting for little flies now. So I'm glad I caught it early enough. Yes, at least I was able to stop the armyworms. But man, seeing this damage to this hay is just sickening, because you can't go back, you can't reverse it. And we're right here at September, so the growing season is now very short. It's a battle. It's disappointing, frustrating, but I'm gonna keep spraying. Got a little more to go. So wanted to share that with everybody. Go get a sweep net and look for those stinking flies. They're tiny. Look them up on the internet. They're just tiny, tiny little flies. I think they're like 1/8 of an inch big. Very tiny. But that's what I got. Hopefully that made some sense. Yeah, we're going to continue on. Hope everybody has a good day. Hope everybody avoids the double whammy of worms and flies. Y'all take care.